Young people, let me tell you one story. One time we're going to church, I was in the secondary school. And I said, wait a minute, there is no offering today. So I told the young fellows with me, we are going to go to church very early to sweep the place. Whatever God we pay, whoever sweeps will be our offering. Don't sit down those side, my friend. So I've been giving before I had money in my pocket. Small boy, whatever you will pay, whoever sweeps today is our offerings. Boys, let's go. In those days, there were no sanctuary keepers anywhere. So I was a sanctuary keeper before I became a pastor. Amen. You just sit and be staring at everything. I undertook this journey a long time, my friends. I'm not surprised that things are happening today. A farmer cannot be surprised if he plants his field. He expects harvest. Harvest comes along. We were out to buy a bus. I wasn't a pastor. I wasn't called to ministry. I said, folks, the Lord just spoke to me. Whatever you have anywhere, bring it out. And I brought all I had. And I said, I hope you brought all your own. Yeah, okay. I've never lacked all my life. The cost of developing wings of faith. Please make no mistake. Money can develop your wings. Buy the truth of God's word. That develops wings. Isaiah 55 verse 1 to 3, 1 to 2. It says, oh, everyone that thirsted, come ye to the waters. And he that has no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you sell your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfied not? Hearken diligently unto me, that's how to buy. And eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Come and buy understanding. Now he went on in verse 11. So shall my word be. Come and buy into what I'm saying to do concerning that subject matter. Come and buy. Come and buy. As mentioned yesterday night, every child of God is redeemed as an eaglet. But every eaglet is subjected to a series of tests to develop our wings. Now, Galatians 4, verse 1. He said, now I say that the heir, as long as he's a child, is not different from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Is under tutelage. Is a disciple on the way to imagine an apostle. Even though he be heir of all things, but he will not be over them until the time appointed of the Father. Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall rest upon the shoulders of the son, not the child. The son, not the child. The son, not the child. And when he imagines a son, His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And of the increase of his government of peace there shall be no end. But he has to grow to become a son. And so Jesus came as a babe, and then grew, became an adolescent, and then an adult, and then a son with authority. A son, this is my beloved son, hear ye him. Authority conferred. Luke chapter 9 verse 35. Now, Luke chapter 3 verse 23, this is my beloved son, whom I'm well pleased. He has become a son. So he's ready for enthronement. But now, hear ye him, he's enthroned. Chapter 9. Remember Luke chapter 1 verse 80, talking about John the Baptist. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, and was in the desert, no identity, until the time of his showing unto Israel. Don't show yourself or you suffer a showdown. 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 Until the time of his showing unto Israel. Don't let people show you, let God be the one that shows you. When God shows you, no devil can show you down. And this is why only tried and tested faith develops wings. 1 Peter 1, 7-9. That the trial of your faith be much more precious than of gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. So trials are supposed to be delicious, precious. You write exams upon exam upon exam before you become a graduate. You must not see exams as attack, not attack. It's your pathway to progress. It's my pathway to progress. Everybody's faith will be tried before it begins to fly. As the finding pot for silver, Proverbs 27:21, and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. Everyone's faith will be tried before his faith will mount out with wings and begin to fly. But here are people today, they are cringing and crying when their faith is being tried, instead of facing it to pass it. Instead of facing it to pass it. You can't excel in the field of sports if you excuse yourself from the rigor of exercises. You can't excel. I don't feel like today, I just feel one kind. Okay. When you feel red kind, then you are off. But God does not tempt anyone with evil. Let no one say, when same time I'm tempted of God, because God tempts no man with evil, neither tempted any man. James 1:13. So evil is not part of the deal. But God tests his people's faith. James 5:11. Behold, we count them happy which endure, because they come out at the end glorified, decorated, celebrated. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender of mercy, and of tender mercy. In Hebrews 6 and verse 15. Now, Genesis 22:1, please. It said, and it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. His faith was tested. He passed the test to emerge a symbol of generational blessing that we know today. Hebrews 6:15. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. God tested the faith of Abraham and he passed the test. Hebrews 11:17-19. The word says, by faith Abraham, when he was tried or tested, offered up Isaac, and neither had received the promise, offered up his only begotten son, of whom it is written, or said, that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Accounting that God was able to raise him up, even from the dead. I'm going to cut his neck and set the altar on fire. I know God can gather the ashes and bring him back. He was tested, he passed the test. Now let's look at the various platforms of the test of Abraham. His obedience was tested. Genesis 12:1-4. Your obedience will be tested and you must pass it to change class. Get out of their country. And so Abraham departed. He passed the first test of obedience. Please hear. This is first test, primary test. Some are still struggling with it. Number 2, he passed the test of patience. Hebrews 6:12, he said, don't be slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. Verse 13, for when God made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no other, by no greater, he swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiply I will multiply thee. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. He passed the test of patience. Holy patience, not murmuring patience. Joyful patience, not grumbling patience. Not pointing accusing fingers to God. Abraham and Sarah, a most hilarious family. Number 3, he passed the love test. Lot went with him as his aid. And God was blessing Abraham, and he was transferring blessings to Lot. The herdsmen of Lot rose against the herdsmen of Abraham. There was a strife. And Abraham said, come on, young man, you take any part of this field that you want, and I'll take the remaining. Lord said, old man, I take all this green place, you take the dry place. And it came to pass after Lord departed from him that the Lord said, now lift up your eyes, look northwards and northward, southward. All the land that you see, I will give unto you. After Lot departed. Now, Lot got into trouble in chapter 14. And to show that Abraham did not give him that thing out of, okay, just go away, you wicked boy. When Lot was captured and his wives, Abraham armed himself No, not my cousin. I must get him back. Amen. Get ready. I'm leading the battle tonight. Abraham went, conquered the army of the enemy, rescued his brother and his two wives. He passed the love test. Your love for God will be tested. Get ready for it. He passed the love test. We have that account in Genesis 13, 5 to 12, 14 to 17, in Genesis 14, 14 to 20. Now, Abraham passed the liberality test, and that is the test of prosperity. He saw three men, he ran after them, Genesis 18, 1 to 8. My Lord, if I found people on your side, just rest a little while, I'll bring you milk, I'll bring you water. In a moment, I'll bring you meal. Ran down to the tent. Sarah, we got some guests right now. Let's make ready. Went by himself and took a lamb from the heart, slaughtered it, and called the young men to dress it up quickly. We have some guests now. He passed the liberality test. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and in the water shall himself be watered unto. Your liberality will be tested. His strength was tested. Get up, take your son, your only son Isaac, and go forth in the morning. Go forth, and I'll show you the mountain where you sacrifice him. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and began trekking with his son and wood on his head. After 3 days, he saw the place afar off, and God said, that's the place you are going. This time, it was average 114 years old. Trekked for 3 days in search of a place where he would sacrifice his son. His strength was tested. He passed the test. And finally, his integrity was tested. The king of Sodom met him, Genesis 14, 21 to 23, and said to Abraham, give me the persons and take the goods to thyself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I've lifted up my eyes unto the Lord, the Most High, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich. Everybody's integrity will be tested to assess the Abrahamic order of prosperity. Everyone's integrity will be tested. Everyone's integrity will be tested before he can assess the Abrahamic order of prosperity. If you're Abraham's seed, then do the works of Abraham. Isaiah 51 verse 1 to 3. That is what the word says. Hearken unto me, ye that love righteousness, follow after righteousness. Ye that seek the Lord, look unto the rock whence ye are going, and the hole from where you are digged. Look unto Abraham your father and to Sarah that bare thee, for I called them alone and blessed him and increased him. For the Lord shall comfort Zion after the same order. He will comfort all our waste places, and he will make our wilderness like Eden and our desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be heard in her, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. We must pass this test that Abraham had to pass before we enter into that realm of affluence, that realm of fortune, where our wilderness is turned to Eden and our desert like the garden of the Lord, where joy and gladness only shall be heard in our camp. We must pass this test. So singing Abraham's tells our mind doesn't bring it. You pass this test to step in. The trial of our faith is the platform for developing wings of faith. James 1, 2-4. My brethren, count it all joy where ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that it may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. You don't pass a test without access to relevant resources in school. You engage with relevant resources to pass a test. One of my daughters here was on the line for Miracle Joy, and he had me saying that the answer is in the book. So he got the book Word Encounters. It's a testimony park, and stayed under the tent after Sunday service and finished the book before going home. By Tuesday, she got a job. You don't pass a test wishing. You pass every test connecting with relevant resources that will put you on top of it. One of our young daughters in one of the universities read the book Towards Mental Exploits. And from there, made a first class upon graduation. Everybody had to go after relevant resources to pass any test. I read 8 books on marriage in search of what make marriage work. And it's been working all the years. You can't pass a test without looking for relevant resources to make it happen. Remember, we are called to follow the steps of those before us, not their results. Discover their steps, and if you're interested in their kind of results, follow the steps. In 1 Peter 2 and verse 21, the word says, for even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps. Not follow the results, follow the steps. Follow the steps. It took Peter, James, and John when he was going to raise Jairus' daughter. And when Dorcas died, Peter followed the steps. And Dorcas came back to life. He asked all of them who are weeping to get out, like Jesus would do. He followed the steps to get the same result. Follow the steps. I've told you this story several times. I was on a trip and I returned 1987. My wife was not on that trip. And I came back with volumes of materials in boxes. And my wife said, what did you bring? I said, come and see. So I've always had a library from the time I was married. A room where no one sleeps. So I invited her to the library. First box, books. Second box, books. He said, wait a minute, what else? I said, that's all else. All these things. I said, the content of these books, if comprehended, can make me a manufacturer of the things I will have bought. Can make me a manufacturer of the things I will have bought. I don't know how much they build factories. I'm not involved in it. But I can build any factory now by grace. Any factory. I said that 87. Intentional. 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 You don't pass tests by wishing. Somebody's creating under financial rigor. He has never read Understanding Financial Prosperity. Never. He has never read Breaking Financial Hardship. Never. But looking for Papa to pray. Papa's prayer can't break the covenant. No. Can bring you relief, but can't change your supposition. You are faced with health challenges. You have never read one book on healing in your life. One book, not one. And you want to pass the test. How? How? No one passes any test by wishing. You pass the test by engaging relevant resources.